So it is indeed a Monday here at Fort Miley, over on the western edge of the city, right on top of Land's End. I think let's do a little tour of Fort Miley. I think that could be fun. Yeah? Let's do it. So just a word of warning, this is going to be a little rougher than most of my other videos. I don't even have my microphone with me. I don't have my mini tripod to hold the camera, so we'll see. So yeah, as the name kind of implies, Fort Miley, it actually used to be an active military fort. I think it was back in maybe the 1900s, or maybe like around the turn of the century. They actually had guns mounted on the sides pointing towards the Golden Gate before the bridge was built. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these used to be all just barracks for the troops that would come here, the ones that were stationed here. You know, obviously they haven't had to use this as a military place in a long time. And nowadays Fort Miley is more of like a premier spot for tagging, which, I mean, say what you will about tagging, I think there's an art behind it. I mean, look at these. Frisco forever. Well, at least they're passionate about the city. It's kind of weird to think that people used to actually be stationed out here and there would be guns mounted in the event that somebody would invade. I think it was like during the Spanish-American War they started putting them out here, and then I think it was around like the 30s, a little bit before the war, or like right around the start of World War II, when they started revamping this place and kind of placing new guns around the edges of the fort. As you can see, this place has not been in operation for the last 60, 70 years almost. Like I said, it's still a popular place for people to come and, you know, show their art through graffiti. Nice job, Alex. There's a lot of ravens, crows up here. There's a lot of people that forget, and even I forget sometimes, that this area out here wasn't really developed to be residential, at least to begin with. Like I mentioned it in my first video when I talked about the Richmond and how wild it is. This place is basically like one step away from being consumed by the nature that it's in. I mean, that's not to say I want every old building to be swallowed up by the trees that are surrounding it, but I think it's really cool how this place has kind of stayed in its, you know, original state. Like, it hasn't been decayed, nothing's kind of knocked it over or anything like that. You know, it's still for the most part intact. Going up some stairs here. Ooh, airplane. 2 airplanes going up at the same time. Okay, keep going. Go! After everything is gone, after all the people have moved out, after no one really takes care of it or operates it anymore, it's kind of fun to just hang out here and go through all the little nooks and crannies of the architecture. Like this one right here, look. Just like a little lookout station almost. I'm pretty sure they used to have like guns drawn here, or like huge mortar stations where they would be, you know, defending the city in the United States. But nowadays it's just kind of like this little urban exploration, like playground almost. Here, let's keep going. Oh. A little narrow here. Down here is a little, I'm not sure if there's anything else down here. I'm gonna take a look. Hello! Oh wow. It's like some Blair Witch shit here. Wow. Okay, so I guess there are some little crevices you can go into, but I'd rather not. It's really dark in there. This is kind of like the perfect place for a skateboarder to practice, to, you know, to experiment with tricks and go off like these little tiny ramps here. And then another parapet here. Okay, so I just looked it up. I guess they're not parapets, but they are little stations for like to mount the guns that they used. I guess there used to be much fewer trees around here. Currently that's towards the ocean, and if you were trying to guard the city and they were coming this way, you wouldn't be able to tell a damn thing. You wouldn't be able to see who's coming at you. But I assume back in like the early 1900s that's what they used to do, and that was before all these trees were planted here, I think. Speaking of trees, the other amphitheater type thing is over on this side, and it's a lot more overgrown than the other one. Here, take a look. So not only is there a lot of brush here, but you have actual real I think it's about like a 30-foot tree just growing straight out of the center of that, which is kind of surprising. I wonder how these things take root, because I assume the ground there is mostly concrete, and then maybe like, I don't know, a couple inches of soil that was dropped in or, you know, buried by something, but you got a tree growing out of it. Nature finds a way. So here's another area where there used to be some barracks. You know, I think it's pretty cool how they let a lot of the graffiti just be. They didn't come over here and start painting over everything, trying to erase all these tags and kind of sterilize the place. They kind of just let the people come in here and kind of take over and kind of make this place more than just an abandoned military base. It has personality now, which is kind of cool. You know, technically this place belongs to the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, but to me it just looks like it belongs to the people of San Francisco, which is alright with me. Like, military bases are not really in high demand these days, so I'm okay with that. A little treacherous area right here. I'm gonna go up on this roof here. So like I said, nature is kind of like taking over this entire area now. Like, trees have been dumping their pine needles here probably for decades. It's pretty wild out here. You go a little bit further that way, I think you can climb down to Land's End maybe. Golden Gate Bridge is right there, even though you might not be able to see it. This might be blown out. This place is a personal favorite of mine just because of how it's like this little nugget of history that's wedged in between Land's End and Ocean Beach, and you know, you don't really see it, you don't really notice it unless you're trying to come here. Like, there are signs in the parking lot that point to Fort Miley, you know, just go up the hill and you'll find it, but most people won't even know it's here unless they're trying to look for it. And I hope you guys come out here to try and find it too. You know, this place, like, I'm not even exaggerating, this place has some of the best views in the entire city. Like, if you just look at right behind me, there's just the Marin Headlands right there, unobstructed views of it. Like, how can you beat that? You really can't. I'm gonna head back to the little picnic area where you can see the rest of Ocean Beach, so maybe we'll end it over there. Someone else is here. I can smell the spray paint, so you know what they're doing. But yeah, there aren't any food trucks here. There's no silent disco that happens every other Friday or anything like that. But when you come to the Richmond, that's not really what you're looking for. This place is kind of like a great spot where history and nature kind of intersect and like intertwine with one another. You know, just seeing how much the fort has been overgrown by these trees that have been planted in the decades past is really, really cool. Like, I know that there aren't really a whole lot of abandoned things in San Francisco that you can still go to and explore without getting accosted by the police. Now, I might be biased, but I think this is one of the cooler ones that you can find. That intersection between history and nature is right here. Like, if you're looking for a place that has been overgrown but also retains a lot of like cool historical things, this is it. So I hope you guys find time to come here, maybe on like a Saturday afternoon, or if you have time free during the week, you can come here and there will be nobody here to bother you. Isn't that great? Now, I know this is not how I normally make my videos, but I want to give you guys more. I want to show you guys more of the city. So thank you guys for watching this kind of impromptu vlog thing. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to let me know in the comments below. You can hit like, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff, and I will see you all in the next spot. So coming down from Fort Miley, you got all these trees here. So many trees, and when the sun shines through them, it's probably the most beautiful spot in the entire city during this time, but no one really knows about it. At least until now. You guys know about it. Tell everyone, tell your friends.